Pflueger was building reels in Akron, Ohio before most American fishing brands existed. First American bait casting reel, 1916. By 2001, every single one came out of China. The name stayed American. The work didn't. Pflueger isn't the exception. It's the blueprint for what happened across the entire tackle wall. A few brands refused to follow it, and that story starts with how Pflueger walked away. Ernest F. Pflueger established the Enterprise Manufacturing Company in Akron, Ohio, in 1880. For nearly a century, this Midwestern workshop was the engine of American tackle innovation. When Pflueger released the first American bait casting reel in 1916, it set a benchmark for generations of anglers. These were rugged brass and steel machines built to survive decades of hard use on the water. But by the 1970s, corporate ownership began cutting corners, systematically dismantling a century of heritage. Production shifted in stages, first through partial outsourcing, then moving fully to Japan by 1982. The final retreat came in 2001, when every remaining assembly line was shipped to China. Today, the only way to fish a genuine American-made Pflueger is to hunt down vintage models on collector forums. Anglers still trade classic Akron-made reels because the raw machining outlasts the modern corporate owners. The metal survives, but the original work is gone, leaving behind a nameplate that no longer matches the hands that made it. On West Hunting Park Avenue in North Philadelphia, an industrial survivor still stands. This factory has remained Penn's domestic manufacturing site since 1932, where over 300 workers turn raw metal into heavy-duty tackle. Today, they build only two legacy series here, the Senator and the International. These machines are the exception, representing a tiny fraction of the brand's actual output. Every other Penn reel on the market ships from factories in Asia. The domestic network was once broader, but the permanent closure of the Higgins, Pennsylvania facility in 2005 pulled back the state's manufacturing borders. Today, the Made in USA stamp only appears on select packaging, while the rest of the retail shelf is stocked with imports. Otto Henze introduced the Penn Senator in 1936. Cementing a Philadelphia legacy built on pure muscle. It went on to accumulate more IGFA big game world records than any other reel series in history. The secret was brutal, unyielding simplicity, heavy stainless steel gears, a marine-grade bronze main gear, and a solid machined aluminum frame. It remains functionally identical to the reel's commercial deckhands relied on in the 1950s. This uncompromising build is why the Senator outlasted decades of corporate musical chairs. While Penn's ownership was traded like a stock, passing through K2 Sports, Jardine, and Newell brands before Sycamore Partners acquired the portfolio in 2019 for $1.3 billion, the Senator survived. Wall Street could buy the brand name, but they couldn't cheapen the gears of a reel already built to last. The work stayed in Philly because the metal refused to break. In 2001, inside a Chatsworth, California industrial park, Harry Alajajian handed off a prototype lever drag reel on a Friday afternoon. Around him, workers were still wiring up the power grid for their newly leased space. Harry and his brother Sarkis did not come from a long heritage of fishing royalty. They came from the unforgiving, precise world of aerospace and telecommunications machine shops. They knew how to hold 10,000ths of an inch on CNC mills, and they realized those exact tolerances could eliminate the slop and play that plagued mass-produced saltwater gear. Today, their 25,000 square foot facility runs 30 CNC machines, chewing through solid bars of American Alcoa aluminum to output roughly 75 reels a day. Every frame, spool, and side plate is carved right here on the shop floor. The only honest wrinkle in the operation is the micro bearings. which are imported simply because no domestic manufacturer produces ball bearings of this size anymore. But this relentless focus on raw, precise metalwork is why an Avet lever drag feels incredibly smooth, maintaining perfect alignment under heavy line-snapping pressure. Accurate Fishing Products began in 1990 as a division of the Accurate Grinding and Manufacturing Corporation, a family machine shop founded in 1950 to cut jet turbine components. Twin brothers David and Douglas Nilsson spent their youth running lathes and manual mills, but their angling lineage came from their grandfather, Michael DeMarco. DeMarco held a 56-pound roosterfish world record and completed a grand slam of billfish in 1985. The brothers built reels for the same hard-fighting ocean game he chased, machining aluminum frames to aerospace tolerances on the exact same shop floor where they cut jet parts. In 2002, they moved production to a 30,000-square-foot facility in Corona, California, where every reel is still built by hand. Instead of relying on standard drag systems, they engineered the patented twin drag, a dual-brake design applying even pressure to both sides of the spool. It remains one of the most copied innovations in saltwater reel design, built by people who actually fish. In Montrose, Colorado, Abel Reels provides the cleanest proof of domestic manufacturing in the fishing industry. There are no imported components in these reels, and no exceptions. Every spool, frame, and internal component begins as raw, aerospace-grade bar stock aluminum, before undergoing complete CNC machining, hand polishing, and final anodizing under a single roof. Now operating under Mayfly Outdoors, Abel refuses to separate the American name from the American labor, maintaining domestic production across freshwater, saltwater, and extreme big game applications. Instead of relying on cheap open drag configurations, they engineer fully sealed multi-disc drag systems, designed to withstand the brutal runs of ocean game fish. This precise engineering is backed by a lifetime warranty, nearly 50 years of manufacturing confidence, stamped directly into the metal. It stands as a direct contrast to the corporate sellouts that traded their heritages for cheap overseas labor. Here, the work matches the label, showing exactly what happens when the people running the brand actually fish. This shrinking domestic footprint is driven by a corporate consolidation machine. Under Sycamore Partners, a New York private equity firm, Pure Fishing controls Penn, Pflueger, Abu Garcia, Berkeley, Shakespeare, Fenwick, and Ugly Stick. None of these brands make the majority of their reels in America. Even Abu Garcia, which transitioned from Swedish watchmaking to reels in 1941 before its 1995 buyout, now manufactures almost entirely offshore, retaining only the Ambassadeur C3 and C4 at the Svanksta factory on the Morum River. These manufacturing choices are made in a Manhattan boardroom by people who look at spreadsheets, not the water. To read a modern reel box, an angler needs to look past the marketing. The Federal Trade Commission requires a product to be all or virtually all manufactured domestically to legally claim a Made in USA stamp. But a flag sticker on the packaging is completely unregulated. Brands frequently import cheap Chinese components, perform basic final assembly on American soil, and slap a patriotic emblem on the shelf display. That is a marketing strategy, not manufacturing. True domestic makers like Abel, Avet, and Accurate actually machine their core frames and spools here, turning raw metal into gear built to outlast the slogans. In Sonora, California, Galvin Fly Reel stands as a family-owned counterweight to Wall Street. Boney Galvin started the business in his garage in 1992, spinning a single manual lathe because he could not afford the quality reel he wanted. To get those early models on shelves, 12-year-old Lou Galvin rode his bicycle directly to local tackle shops. Today, the family still designs, machines, and assembles every component in Sonora, refusing to outsource a single part or take outside investment. Because no private equity firm demands a return, Galvin undercuts corporate imports, proving a make-or-run path still exists. Today, the choice is clear. We either buy a manufactured corporate legacy or support genuine American machining. The ultimate difference is not on the sticker, but whether the people running the brand actually fish. Do not buy the illusion. Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more.